Hey guys, so it's day 3, but in reality it's probably like day 23 or day 20, I don't even know, but this is just my third day of documenting what's going on with me. So, yeah, okay, so I was dry fasting for like 48 hours, like 50 hours, and in the middle of the night, like the detox was so uncomfortable. I tried like doing a little exercise, or I tried I don't know, just thinking like I was praying, using my affirmations, and I just couldn't take it. So I went and actually had a little bit of water, a little bit of tiny bit of like some ground beef, and just like 3 pieces of lettuce, which stopped, like, which made me like, thank God, like stopped the horrific like nausea and all that was going on. So the reason I don't feel bad about that actually is that it's I still like ketogenic diet, which means that like I'm not like when you eat meat, like when you eat meat, basically like pure meat, you're not really even affecting insulin. I know people say it raises, protein raises insulin. Look, it's not fucking up your blood sugar, basically. Okay, I don't care about insulin if it's messing up insulin a tiny, tiny bit. Um, you're not having any kind of blood sugar swings whatsoever, so that's really good. So that's what I did, and then so today's day 3. I still consider myself. I guess am I fasting? It's kind of fasting because I'm like intermittent fasting. I'm not eating like much. I had a little bit of meat for lunch. But when I say meat, I don't mean like on a fucking sandwich. I mean like literally I ate like raw fucking ground beef. Um, I find that the raw is less stimulating for me. The more cooked something is, the more stimulating it is, and the more you kind of crave that stimulation. I did use a little bit of salt. Salt definitely increased the blood pressure because it's a little bit of a, I don't know. I'm not saying it's like a poison or anything. I'm just saying it makes your body go, what the hell? And it's just like, it gives you a little bit more of a rush. So you can use that to wean off. Like if you're fasting, you can use a little salt with like something, I guess, meat if you prefer. Um, so I'm actually feeling kind of tired. I was really tired last night. I'm tired today. Now I've eaten. I used to eat like a raw vegan diet, and that actually, I know what it's like to be tired from like at certain points of the day from a raw vegan diet. This is more of a conservation of energy, I feel like, because my growth hormone's still maxed out, and it's the same as if I was fasting. You can look it up. It's the same thing. That's why people who eat like pure meat diets, in a way, they're fasting, and the reason they can't take it anymore. A lot of people like fall off, like eating just pure meat, is because they're like, oh, I feel like shit. Well, you feel like shit because meat is digested in the stomach. Okay, you're not digesting it in the gut. And there's a reason. This is important. When you digest vegetable matter, anything that's plant or grain or legume or nuts or whatever, those are all digested in the intestinal tract, which means that you're fermenting it. It means that the bacteria is being used up by the food to get rid of it and to deal with the food that you're putting into it. Okay, don't forget, I believe that we're sustained by God and life itself, that digestion is a habit, eating food is a habit. Ultimately, it's unnecessary. We can't sustain ourselves with a neutral belief system about it. If you think you're going to die, yeah, that's not good. But if as you reduce food, you realize usually people always feel better to some degree, and then the detox hits. The reason I can do and justify my, meat only diet, I guess, when I'm not, or when I'm fat, like I'll fast as long as I can, and then if I need to stop the detox symptoms, what I'll do is I will. Oh, nice, that's sexy. What I'll do is eat a little bit of meat, and maybe a little bit of like just a tiny bit of some water, and if I have to eat like a piece of vegetable just to like stop the acidity in my stomach. Now there's going to be some. That's the whole point. Most people have eaten carbs and have layers and layers of certain types of bacteria in their intestinal tract, since they were kids. That's why you freak out when you don't get food. That's why you freak out and have temper tantrums. Like look at every child, they're addicted already to the carbs. So when we're talking about serious addiction, and plus the emotional conditioning you put behind it, the comfort that you find. So again, with meat, it's digested in the stomach, okay? The stomach breaks it apart. I guess the upper GI tract breaks apart, the meat it deals with it, digests it, and then it's pushed through the rest. Where literally, if you push vegetable matter and everything else is pushed through and ferments in your colon, not just your colon, but your small intestine as well. So, people say, oh, they feel so much better on, vegetarian, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm sorry, but good for you. I'm not even gonna try to freak out about vegetarians or whatever. I just know it works for me. I'm also blood type O. I also have strong stomach acid, and I can handle it. I believe in it 100%, and I know it works for me. And I also know when my body's healing, and I know when I'm resting. Another thing I'm doing is I'm allowing my body to, I'm resting in all sense. Also, I'm not masturbating at all. I'm not having sex because I'm single, and I'm not masturbating. So that energy from, the root chakra is moving upwards, I guess. That's the whole idea. So the good thing is I'm releasing a shitload of dopamine. So even if I feel tired or a little nauseous or grumpy, I'm getting my hit of dopamine. And that's what people don't get when they start, introducing a lot of carbs, is that you start suppressing aren't producing enough dopamine. So then you start looking for other things to excite you to, get your kick. Because that dopamine is being limited by the insulin. You should look it up. It's a freaking fact. Research shows all this amazing stuff about us. There's all this great information. It's just that when it contradicts what people want to believe, they say, oh, more research is necessary. Or, the body heals itself, but let's not trust it. We need to do more research. You're always going to go against people are always going to go against things that counter their belief systems. So being truly open-minded is to actually experiment. I was a raw vegan for a long time, and trust me, I was raw. I mean, that's hardcore. But I was also exhausted, and things were not so great. When I started to eat raw meat, I felt a sense of contentment. I wasn't hungry, and I felt joy. I fell off that wagon for a while, but I'm back on it. That's why I'm documenting my experience, because I want to show you guys that, first off, this is the path to enlightenment. I'm sorry, but it is for me. Like, if I just eat, dry fasting also will make me go there quicker, but the detox is more intense. So if I have to eat some meat along the way and some water, or like a little bit of seltzer water, just to give it a little bit of a stimulation, I may even incorporate a little caffeine, depending on how bad the symptoms get. Usually during the day I can handle stuff. At night, that's the tough part. So for me, this is not just about health. This is about, this is about regeneration. This is about feeling amazing. This is about knowing yourself and truly using thoughts and diet to achieve the highest level of consciousness you can obtain. And let me tell you, I'm using affirmative prayer and affirmations. They're the same thing. Prayer isn't begging God or begging Jesus for things. Prayer is saying, literally, I have my affirmations that are like, you are awesome, you are loved, love is around you, things are getting better. You know, just constant positive talk. And that affects your body, that affects your mind, that affects your cells. So, you know, I'm using hardcore, mind work too, which keeps things in line for when I have cravings too, you know? I mean, my body physiologically, I think any kind of shoulder stuff is getting better. Obviously, a dry fast is going to make it go a little bit quicker than a water fast. And eating meat is going to slow it down a little bit more than a water fast. So, but as long as there's no carbs and as long as the meat is red meat, since I'm a blood type O, and as long as I'm spreading it out and not just eating like a ton of it at once, I'll be fine. And, you know, so that's that. Wish me luck. You know, there's not always a ton of support for this, but I know there's people that this will benefit. I still have my muscles. You know, I'm not super buff or anything. I'm not even going to the gym. I'm just doing push-ups, so I have some muscle. You know, I'm not huge, but I'm not thin. I'm not wasting away. And as long as you have muscle on you, I mean, even just smiling. If I have meat by his teeth. Even just smiling like helps bring up the muscles in your face, makes you look better. But see, the tongue is coated, and it actually gets sometimes even worse. It will get worse because I've been through this before. So I'm gonna cut this short, guys. But if there's any information that's useful, if you have any questions, you could ask me questions, or if you want to set up. I mean, honestly, I'm really gonna give you a lot more detailed information if you you know, if we make an appointment and we could do a consult, because everyone's got financial needs as well, and I've been praying about that. So I feel that my services and my knowledge are definitely worth compensation for. So that's the deal. I love you guys, and I wish you luck. This is to your wellness and to your higher consciousness. I'll talk to you soon.